Welcome back to Torah in 10, Mountain Edition, Parshas Eikev. I'm Jody Berkel, and I'm so excited to be here with you again. What's the life-changing idea Rabbi Sacks of Blessed memory teaches us this week? Listening is the greatest gift we can give another human being. Why is this so? Brene Brown says, speaking honestly and openly about who we are, about what we're feeling, and about our experiences, either good or bad, is the definition of courage. Courage is about putting our vulnerability on the line. And in today's world, that's pretty extraordinary. In order to achieve this, though, we need a listening ear on the other end. And our ability to listen to each other is a skill that needs to be cultivated. Shema, one of the key words in the book of Devarim, and is one of the most important words in Judaism, and according to Rabbi Sacks, the least understood. Its two most famous occurrences are in last week's Parsha and this week's. The words, "Hear, O Israel, the Lord your God, the Lord is one," and "It shall come to pass, if you surely listen to my commandments, which I'm commanding you today, to love the Lord your God and to serve him with all your heart and soul." These are the openings of the first and second paragraphs of the Shema. It also appears in the first line of this Parsha. It says, "It shall come to pass if you listen to these laws." The word Shema is untranslatable into English. It means so many things: to hear, to listen, to pay attention, to understand, to internalize, to respond, and to obey. More than any other book in the Torah, the word Shema appears in Devarim no less than 92 times, over and over again. In the last month of his life, Moses told the people, Shema, listen, follow, pay attention, hear what I'm saying, hear what God is saying, listen to what he wants from us. If we would only listen. Judaism is a religion of listening, and this, says Rabbi Sacks, represents that aspect unique to Judaism, the idea that God cannot be seen, he can be only heard. Throughout the Torah, Moses reminds the people that at Mount Sinai, the Lord spoke to you out of the fire. You heard the sounds of words, but you saw no form. There was only a voice. Judaism is not about blind obedience. God wants us to listen, not just with our ears, but with the deepest resources of our minds, because not everything can be understood by seeing and appearances alone. One of the most incredible true stories I have ever heard is about Rabbi Eliezer Silver. During the Holocaust, countless Jewish parents gave their precious children to Christian neighbors and churches in hopes of providing them a safe place to stay until their families came back for them. Tragically, we know most of these parents never returned, and so these children were being raised by another faith. In May of 1945, Rabbi Eliezer Silver from the United States made it his mission to rescue these children. He entered various churches and monasteries and approached the priest in charge and asked that the Jewish children be released into the rabbi's care. "I'm sorry," the priest responded, "but there's no way of knowing which children here came from Jewish families. Many have been here for years and came as small children. They've even been baptized." To this, the rabbi replied, "Please allow me to come back at bedtime before you put the kids to sleep." The priest reluctantly agreed. That evening, the rabbi entered the dorm where rows upon rows of little beds were arranged, and the rabbi stood at the front and began to sing, "Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad." One by one, little children sat up from their bed crying, "Mommy, Mama, Mamushka," each in their own native language. Rabbi Silver said to the priest, "These are the Jewish children." So powerful is hearing. These children hadn't seen their parents in years, and many who were so young could not even see a picture of their parents in their minds. But the sacred words of the Shema that they heard remained so deeply in their soul. Rabbi Sacks tells us, God wants us to listen, which is why we can sense Moses' urgency in this parsha. It's as if he's saying, listen, I mean, really listen. The creator of the universe is taking a personal interest in your welfare and destiny. You, the smallest of nations, and by no means the most righteous, have a specific role to play in the world. God does not want simple obedience. If that was the case, if that was his intention, he would have created robots, not human beings with free will. God, in making human beings in his image, was creating otherness, and the bridge between us and others is conversation, speaking and listening. Rabbi Sacks says, when we speak, we tell others who we are, but when we listen, we allow others to tell us who they are. How powerful. These days, there seems to be a lot of speaking, less listening. If we can't listen to each other, then we certainly can't listen to God. Listening to another human being, someone who has different views, values, and ideas than our own, is an act of opening ourselves up and requires us to be vulnerable. According to Rabbi Sacks, it's essential to humanity. Listening is a deeply spiritual act, but not an easy one. It's much easier not to have to listen to be challenged by others or moved out of our comfort zone. And nowadays, thanks to Google filters, Facebook friends, and the specific targeting of individuals on social media, see The Social Dilemma on Netflix for details, we get to live in our echo chambers. Do you know that if I search, is global warming real, and my brother searches the same thing, our top answers that Google shows us will be different. That's right. Truth is not as easy to find as you would think. Google gives us the answer based on our truth, based on what it thinks we want to hear. So on social media, we don't have to hear any views that are different than ours. But in his 2017 TED Talk, Rabbi Sacks said, it's the people not like us who make us grow. Listening lies at the very heart of relationships. It means that we're open to others, that we respect them, and that their perceptions and feelings matter to us. A good parent listens to their child. A good employer listens to their employees. A good company listens to their customers, and a good leader listens to those he or she leads. Allowing ourselves to listen doesn't mean we have to agree with what we've just heard. It does mean caring, and caring builds connection, love, and respect. Rabbi Sacks teaches us listening is the greatest gift we can give to another person. May we all be blessed to listen, really listen to the people in our lives, to others unlike us, and to God. Shabbat Shalom.